You know, there's something rather amusing about the way we've been taught to think about reality. We spend our days chasing after goals, trying to control outcomes, believing ourselves to be separate from the universe, like players in an enormous mechanical game. But what if I told you that there's a delightful paradox waiting for you, a truth that once seen changes everything? You see, there's something quite fascinating about how our minds craft reality. What we perceive as concrete and unquestionable is often just a beautifully spun web of illusions. Consider concepts like time and money, those hallowed pillars we live by. Could these too be constructs of our own making, intricate yet imagined? What if the truths we hold dear are, in fact, mere shadows cast by our limited perspectives? As we delve into this philosophical exploration, inspired by the wisdom of Eastern philosophy, let us turn to Zen Buddhism. Zen invites us to see beyond the veil and recognize our profound interconnectedness. It suggests that we are not isolated fragments drifting through a fragmented universe. Rather, we are the universe experiencing itself, much like a wave observing its form. While inseparable from the ocean, now here's where it gets really interesting. In our frenetic quest for understanding, labeling, and controlling our world, we often find ourselves ensnared in our own creations. Life becomes a puzzle we feel compelled to solve, when perhaps it's more of a spontaneous, joyful dance. To gracefully participate in this dance, we might consider embracing the notion of Wu Wei, the art of effortless action, allowing life's current to guide us gently, much like a river meandering through a valley. The curious thing about our pursuit of happiness is that it often leads us astray. We become like a dog, endlessly chasing its tail, oblivious to the joyous wag ever within reach. Could it be that happiness is less something to achieve and more a state of being to experience? In our attempts to seize control, we ponder the very discontent we wish to avoid. Yet, if we embrace the wisdom of water, meeting obstacles with grace, adapting without strain, many of our struggles dissolve, not from force, but from surrender. Stay with me on this journey, for the contemplation of these ideas might just transform our perception. Imagine a world where success and failure no longer wield power over us. This isn't mere fantasy, but a shifting of perspective that nudges us toward recognizing the intricate web of interdependence that binds all life. Now, imagine the wisdom found in uncertainty, in not knowing. It invites us into a profound relaxation with existence, allowing us to slip beyond our mental constructs. Suddenly, the vibrant mosaic of life comes alive, revealing that you, I, every being, are essential threads in the intricate tapestry of the cosmos. Are we ready to transcend these self-imposed illusions, to let go of control and step in harmony with the universe's grand symphony? Pondering this might illuminate our journey through life's breathtaking web, unveiling hidden truths about who we are within it. You see, in my own quest to understand consciousness, I discovered that surrendering the need to understand was, paradoxically, the gateway to true understanding. What a delightful irony this is, don't you think? Now, this brings us to something even more fascinating about our shared human experience. You see, just as we come from different backgrounds, with varied cultures and stories,
there's a dance, a rhythm that connects us all, a universal journey where the individual notes create a magnificent symphony. It's as if we're all playing a part in a grand orchestra, where each instrument is crucial. Yet the magic lies in the harmony of the collective sound. You see, once you grasp this, something wonderful begins to unfold.
You start to recognize that whether it's the peaceful rolling hills in England, the vast open spaces of Australia, or the vibrancy of the cities in the United States, the essence of our connection remains the same. We are but players in this cosmic game, seemingly separate, yet profoundly intertwined, much like the threads of a beautifully woven tapestry. But here's where it gets really interesting. Life, as Alan Watts would say, is less like a journey with a defined end goal and more like a dance. The aim is not to get to a particular spot on the floor, but to enjoy each step along the way. Isn't it a delight to think of life as the dance, where we each move to the rhythm of our own unique melody while remaining in sync with the world? This opens the door to a deeper understanding. Our attempts to hold tightly to certainties and labels often leave us feeling disconnected and stressed. However, when we embrace the ebb and flow of existence, like the tide that ebbs and returns with grace, we find a natural ease in being. It's like learning to ride a wave, trusting the sea to carry you, rather than battling against it. In this awareness, there's a release, a liberating perspective that grants freedom from the mental traps we've set for ourselves. There's a practical wisdom to this, applicable to our daily lives regardless of where we call home. It's as if we're playing a game, not to win or to lose, but for the sheer joy of the game itself. Alan Watts often compared it to music. We don't listen to music to reach the end of the song. We listen for the beauty of each note. Now imagine this. Each day is a new piece of music, an opportunity to be present and appreciate the intricate dance, knowing that every high and low note is essential to the composition. And so you find that by letting go of the need to control or conquer life, you step into harmony with its natural rhythm. And remember, as we contemplate this wisdom, it's not about cultivating blind optimism, but seeing clearly the beauty and chaos, embracing it all as essential to the dance of life. It might just transform our ordinary days into extraordinary experiences, where each moment is colored by a deeper understanding to dance with the universe, letting go of our illusions of control and stepping into our roles with grace and confidence. It's a delightful irony, don't you think, that in letting go, we might just find what we were truly seeking all along, a dance that's not just ours, but shared, vibrant, and endlessly unfolding. Now, as this understanding settles in, something remarkable happens. A profound tapestry begins to reveal itself across the familiar landscapes of our shared world. Imagine, if you will, the gentle hills of the Cotswolds, the sweeping coasts of Bondi Beach, or the bustling heart of Times Square. Each place has its own rhythm, its own melody, yet together they compose a symphony of human experience that transcends individual notes. Here's where the whole picture begins to come together. Our journey through life, much like a cricket match on a sunny Saturday or a Barbie among friends, isn't about racing to the finish line. It's about savoring the camaraderie, finding joy in each moment that passes, and realizing that while we may seem like solitary players, we're all part of the same grand team, embarking on a collective adventure that is timeless and boundless. This leads us to perhaps the most liberating realization of all, the recognition that life is less about controlling the path and more about enjoying the journey. like watching the tides roll in at Brighton or witnessing the changing leaves in Central Park. There's an effortless flow to things when we let them unfold in their natural rhythm. It's an existence that encourages us not to hurry, but to revel in the beauty of every step and turn. Consider, for a moment, the art of making a perfect cup of tea. It is a simple act, steeped in tradition and culture, an alchemy that depends not on rushing, but on allowing the flavors to blend and develop in their own time. Can you see how this small act reflects the greater dance of life? Patience, presence, and grace. Through this lens, we see that the illusion of separation and control, much like the mirage of a desert road, fades away. Our attempts to label, to define, to own become less about holding tightly and more about understanding our interconnectedness. Just as the vastness of the outback connects seamlessly with the skyline of Sydney, or the quietude of a New England town with the energy of downtown Toronto, the spontaneous nature of existence invites us into a dance where we aren't worried about stepping out of time. Instead, we relish the freedom of improvisation, embracing the surprises and synchronicities that enrich our shared human endeavor. It's as if life becomes a jazz ensemble where each of us plays our part. Yet the most magical moments are those we create together, unscripted and unexpected. In this cosmic play, what truly unfolds is the realization that perhaps the safest place to be is in the unknown, riding the wave of possibility as it carries us toward uncharted horizons. It is here, in the unassuming embrace of life's uncertainties, that we find ourselves not burdened by the weight of expectation, but uplifted by the buoyancy of wonder. So let us dance this dance, not as mere individuals, but as co-creators of a magnificent ballet that spans the globe. It's a delightful irony, don't you think, that in loosening our grip, we gain everything. A dance that's not just ours, but one we share with all of humanity, vibrant, intertwined, and endlessly unfolding. Now, this understanding naturally opens into a symphony of experiences shared across the tapestry of our lives. Imagine, if you will, the serene shores of Brighton meeting the vast plains of the Australian outback, or the lively street performances in New Orleans, echoing with the quiet charm of a small village in Ireland. Each place and moment forms a melody, and together they compose a diverse yet harmonious symphony that speaks to the universality of our human journey. You see, as this awareness settles, something beautiful emerges. The realization that life is much like the gentle flow of a river, ever-changing yet constant in its essence. As water finds its level, so too does our understanding deepen as we recognize that the act of living is an art of balance and flow, rather like the measured breaths we take without thinking. What becomes clear from this perspective is rather wonderful. It is in our everyday actions, like sharing a laugh over a cup of tea or exploring the bustling markets of Marrakesh, that the profound interconnectedness of our existence is revealed. The seasons shift and we, like plants growing toward the light, adapt and change, discovering new ways to participate in the dance of life. This leads us quite naturally to a place of gentle acceptance, a space where the silence between the notes of a song becomes as meaningful as the notes themselves. It's like watching the waves crash upon the sandy shores of Bondi Beach, or the leaves falling in an English autumn. Within these rhythms, we see the cyclical beauty of life unfold, a reminder of our place within this grand design. Everywhere we look, we find traces of this elegant simplicity. Children at play, discovering the world with wonderment. A community gathering under the open sky, united in celebration. The quiet satisfaction of a garden slowly transforming under a green thumb. In all these scenes, we understand that control is but an illusion, and true freedom lies in our ability to let go, to flow with the current, rather than resist it. And so we find, in loosening our grip on the reins, that the journey becomes infinitely more rewarding. Much like the joy of dancing, not for an audience, but for the sheer delight of movement itself. We learn to embrace each day with an open heart, not as isolated individuals, but as integral parts of a greater whole. It is a delightful irony, don't you think? That in the simple act of trusting life's unfolding, we uncover the wisdom of the ages, a spontaneous, joyous dance that is not just mine or yours, but ours, a shared, vibrant existence that is endlessly unfolding and beautifully interconnected, transcending all borders and uniting us as one. So here we are, having explored the fascinating dance of existence, much like a gentle walk through Hyde Park or a sun-drenched afternoon on a Queensland beach. It's a delightful realization, isn't it, that life, in all its complexity, is less a puzzle to solve and more a melody to enjoy. Like an impromptu jam session on a lazy Sunday afternoon. You see, there was never really a problem to solve, just the playful unfolding of life itself. Our attempts to control, to categorize, are simply part of the human game, much like organizing a barbecue with friends.
Where the joy is in the gathering, not the tidiness of the grill. And isn't that wonderful? The very search was the finding, like sipping a comforting cup of tea on a rainy day. We discover that
Contentment lies not in the culmination of our efforts, but in the simple, everyday moments of presence and participation, a shared laugh, a quiet sunset, the rustle of leaves in the breeze. The game continues, of course, with all its curious twists and turns. But now, you know you're playing, a joyful participant in this grand play. Much like a child discovering the wonders of the garden, the essence of this understanding, much like the harmony of a well-loved song, remains timeless and free from urgency. And so, the dance goes on, but with a different quality of movement, a gentle sway, rather than a frantic pace, much like the rhythm of life in a quaint seaside village or the bustling energy of a city sidewalk. The discovery, you see, is in recognizing that we are both the wave and the ocean, the dancer and the dance itself. The conversation doesn't end here. It simply flows into your own experience, inviting you to notice life's melodies. From the laughter of children in a neighborhood park to the quiet reflection in a Sunday morning cafe. What will you notice as you go about your day? It's a question that lingers gently. Watch like the lingering notes of a melody. And therein lies the beauty. Life is a delightful mystery, ever unfolding, ever inviting us to participate in its wondrous dance. As you drift through the vast mosaic of life, consider the wisdom embedded in the rhythms of our shared world. Imagine the gentle hum of a London pub, the vibrant buzz of a Sydney beach day, or the soulful beats echoing through the streets of New Orleans. Each place, each moment, sings its own song, yet they all harmonize into a universal melody that resonates across cultures. Visualize a leisurely stroll through Central Park in autumn, leaves cascading like confetti, or picture yourself sipping a warm cup of tea while listening to the rain softly tap against the window in a cozy Dublin cafe. In these simple moments, the essence of our connectedness reveals itself, drawing a map of interwoven lives that is endlessly unfolding. Perhaps you'll see the world anew as you wander through bustling market streets in Cape Town, or catch a cricket match on a sunny afternoon in Melbourne. These experiences open up to the same fundamental dance, a recognition that life's true beauty lies not in reaching a destination, but in savoring each step along the way. What strikes you as you go about your day? Maybe you'll pause to notice the small interaction